Welcome to Week 10, dear friends in Christ. Having explored Jesus as the fulfillment of divine wisdom last week, we now turn to a different yet equally powerful expression of Proverbs in the New Testament, its transformation and application within the apostolic writings, especially James and Ephesians. Our focus today is how the apostles absorbed the wisdom of Proverbs and reimagined it for a spirit-filled, Christ-centered community, a church that must not only believe rightly but live wisely. Let's begin with the Epistle of James, often called the Proverbs of the New Testament. It opens by urging believers to ask God for wisdom, the very heart of Proverbs. In James 1-3 we hear familiar echoes. Be quick to listen, slow to speak. James 1 verse 19. This is a clear parallel to Proverbs 10 verse 19. When words are many, transgression is not lacking. James 3 famously warns of the untamed tongue, calling it a fire and a restless evil. Proverbs says, a gentle tongue is a tree of life. Proverbs 15 verse 4. But James reveals the deeper spiritual battle. The same mouth praises God and curses others. James doesn't merely cite Proverbs. He transforms its principles into Christian ethics, grounded in humility, meekness, and faith. He reframes wisdom not only as knowledge but as a way of life from above, pure, peace-loving, considerate, full of mercy. James 3 verse 17. It is wisdom in the cruciform shape of Christ. Now turn to Ephesians 4-6. Paul teaches about community life, unity, speech, and relationships, drawing from wisdom themes. Do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouths. Ephesians 4:29 reflects Proverbs' emphasis on guarding the tongue. Be wise, making the most of every opportunity. Ephesians 5:15-16 echoes the time awareness and prudent action urged in Proverbs. In Ephesians 5-6, Paul lays out household codes, instructions for husbands, wives, children, and slaves. Though these may feel culturally distant, they reflect Proverbs' deep concern for order, discipline, and relational wisdom, which is now reshaped through the lens of mutual submission in Christ. Ephesians 5:21. The key difference? Wisdom is now rooted in Christ's love, not merely tradition or custom. In other epistles we see more echoes. Romans 12 urges humility and kindness. Do not repay evil for evil. Proverbs 20 verse 22. 1 Peter 3 says, whoever desires to love life and see good days. Quoting directly from Psalm 34, but with the tone and structure of Proverbs. So what's happening here? The early church reinterpreted Proverbs through the cross and resurrection. Wisdom became not just what works socially, but what reflects Christ spiritually. The apostles didn't discard Proverbs. They baptized it, reshaping its moral vision into a covenantal ethic of love, grace, humility, and holiness. By the end of this week, our goal is to trace how the NT writers adapted Proverbs for the ethical life of the church and, more importantly, to reflect, what does this mean for us? In a world still thirsty for wisdom, we are called to live out a new kind of wisdom, not the wisdom of this age, but the wisdom that is from above. How we speak, how we lead, how we relate, and all of it must be shaped by Christ, who is our wisdom. Let's take Proverbs seriously, as the apostles did, and not merely for individual piety, but for forming communities of peace, integrity, and love. Thank you, and may the wisdom from above dwell richly in us this week.